Yes, we can all see it.
Okay, okay. Okay, so before we start, let's tell me a little bit about your emotions, of your feelings right now. So do you feel like a little bit of asleep? Can you like turn on your microphone chat in the chat box or like react for me to get to know you a little bit? Okay, I'm waiting to see. Okay, I see Vương sending the clap emotion. So for myself, I just like cut my haircut yesterday. So to be honest, it kind of seem and not it's kind of seem a little bit of funny. So I hope that I will return to my brand soon. All right, right. Thank you, Vương. Thank you, Vương. It's good to hear that. Okay, I see that Tuấn is feeling a little bit of sleepy, right? Okay. Thank you, anh Huy. Okay, Lam, is it are there enough like all of our campers join us today? Okay, so I think okay, let's see. So it's okay, right? Everyone is excited to like have a really first seen each other in the meeting. Okay, okay, I see that everyone is joining the session. So I think that uh chị Hoa ơi, I think that we can start the onboarding session right now. Is it okay? Okay, sure. So,
Yes, yes.
yes. So welcome 22 of our campers to the really first meeting today. So we are all excited to see you guys and really welcome you guys to try our like to try our future boot camp into life. So this is like the onboarding session for us to know each other, to go about some details of the camp, and also have a chance to look and say hello to your teammates. And in this session, they also like the first training offered by Miss Lam is she's right there. You can take a look so about the really first idea about startup. So let's begin our exciting session today. So I move on, I might kindly invite Mr. Huy Phạm to have an opening speech.
All right, thank you, Hoang. Greetings, everyone, and good afternoon to all the student campers. I'm truly excited to welcome all the future entrepreneurs here who could have spent your summer on doing trips and other hobbies, right? But instead, you've chosen to be at Fulbright Innovation Bootcamp today. So I'm already feeling burned up. So Fulbright Innovation Bootcamp is an intensive 5-day trainings where you are provided with opportunities to first build up your capacities, where you learn to solve a present challenge around your communities with various innovation approaches. Second, how to turn that solution into a business ideas and how to sell your products, right? Um, my entrepreneur journey start with its inspirations. Once you stand up, you know how to work. So imagine, and once you work, you know how to run. But eventually, you have to start at some point. You don't have to be raised to start, but you can start. You have to start at some point to know that you can be raised. So just do it. That's my opening speech.
Right, right. Thank you, Mr. Huifan, for a really exciting speech. So I really agree with the ideas. So you don't have to be great to start something, right? But if you choose to start something by your own, you already great already. So I hope that you will be greater and greater when learning in the boot camp in July, so that you can truly solve some of your community problems and learn how to establish some ideas. Maybe in this room, in more 20 years old, maybe can be a Vietnamese Steve Jobs or can be a Vietnamese Bill Gates, right? And we never know about that. So like take that opportunities and take your open mind to welcome any ideas come to your mind and come to yours like with motivation, right? So after that I want to introduce a little bit about our instructor. First of all, Dr. Phan Hong Lan. She have like more than 13 years as in experience in entrepreneurship in innovation, and you can read really long details of her past experience right here. So she she worked with CI in the past and offer many entrepreneurship programs for Fulbright students as well as other students in Vietnam. And Mr. Phạm Quang Huy, who is currently head of CI team, he has more than 10 years of experience in innovation bootcamp too. So you will be assured that both of our instructors have many experience in starting up, boosting the performance of the startup to corporate innovation and corporate some management. So if you have any question during the bootcamp that you need some advice, our instructor, I believe, have many experience to give you really insightful ones. Okay. So about our teaching assistant, uh, they are Miss Vihar and Miss Phương. You can see them over their camera here. So uh, Miss Har is currently a senior innovation officer in Center of Innovation and Entrepreneurship in Innovation. So she have more than 6 years in learning in development as well as product and system management. So Miss Lin have many more experience in project like implementation too. So if you have some problem in your like clubs or in your like community related to these areas, you can also reach out to have some advices too. So okay, so I want to introduce a really like special people right here that study buddy. So you can imagine study buddies at your older brother or sister who really want to support you guys in learning during the boot camp. So study buddy and Fulbright students who have joined some or many of CI programs before. So they have many experience, many like knowledge to share with you guys. And also they have like I call like the fire, like the motivation to work with younger like students and support you guys on the learning journey in the future. So later there will be a session for you to say hello to your own of your study buddy. So take that opportunity, turn on your camera, don't be shy, and say hello to your study buddy. That will be your main sport during the future bootcamp. Okay. Okay, and nonetheless, welcome like program coordinator Miss Jung is right here. She will take on the responsibility for the logistic note. Miss Hoàng Khang will report on of the contents you will learn in the bootcamp, and Miss Thảo Nguyên here she does all the job related to media. So okay, before moving on, can I kindly invite Miss Chung to share about some of the logistic notes that are really insightful for the campus.
Okay, so hi everyone, my name is Jung and I'm the logistic coordinator. Okay, so now I'll walk you through about what to expect during the boot camp, including the main outcomes, the schedule of the activities, and also the key logistic note that you need to know before the program begins. Okay. Can you guys see the screen? Okay. Okay, so here, first we will talk about what you will gain from this bootcamp. So the Fulbright Innovation Bootcamp is designed to give you real experience in innovation and problem solving. And by the end of the week, you will understand how to identify real world problems, interview your users, and test ideas through experiment and pitch your final solution. So you will work in teams, guided by mentors, and take part in hands-on activities every day. So this is not just about learning theories, it's about practicing what you have learned and use it to build your idea. And at the end of the program, each team will present the ideas in the final pitching session. And this is a great chance to improve your teamwork and public speaking skills. And yeah, last but not least, after completing the program, you will also receive a certificate as a record of your participation. Yeah, so now let's go over the activity schedule of the week. Bootcamp will take place from July 7 to July 11 at Fulbright University, Vietnam in District 7, Ho Chi Minh City. And every day, it will start around 8 in the morning and finish by 5 in the afternoon. On the first day, you will begin by learning how to identify your customers and define the problem that you want to solve. And you will also have the chance to go on field trips outside to interview people and collect real insights to start building your ideas. And on the second day, you will identify your solution, and there will also be time for your teamwork and coaching session. And on the third day is about prototyping and lean experiment. And on the fourth day, on Thursday, this will about refining your solution and more group work and coaching session. And finally, on the last day, there will be a big pitching session from 2 to 4:30 p.m. in the afternoon. And follow that will be a big gala dinner to celebrate everything you have achieved. So this is basically the detailed program agenda of the bootcamp. So you can find it in the attached logistic note that will send out in your email. Yeah. So during the bootcamp, all activities will take place at the Fulbright campus here. Here's the address. And for those who are staying in our accommodation arranged by us, here, please be ready at your accommodation by 7:45 every morning so that you don't miss the shuttle. And for those who are not staying at the accommodation here, you need to arrive at Fulbright before 8 a.m. each day. And at the end of the day, if you're not using the provided transportation by us, make sure to let us know when and with whom you're leaving. And this is just to make sure everyone is safe and accounted for. And in terms of scheduled meals and refreshment, all participants will receive snacks and refreshment during the day. If you sign or the standard package, your breakfast, lunch, and dinner will be provided at Fulbright. And if you're under the participation fee package, you will need to arrange your own meals. But don't worry because there are many restaurants and convenience store nearby like GS25, Circle K, or 7-Eleven. So just remember to return on time for the activities after meals. And also, to make the most of the boot camp, you should pack a few essential items. Here's the FIB essential checklist. Please bring your laptop or tablet, along with chargers, notebook, pens and pencil. And because we will have field trips on the first and maybe the second day, if necessary, you should also bring comfortable clothes, walking shoes, a hat, and a water bottle. And since it's the rainy season in Ho Chi Minh City, you should also bring an umbrella or raincoat. And don't forget to pack one smart casual outfit for the gala dinner on the final day. Yes, that's basically the important thing that you should keep in mind. Oh, and we will have free Wi-Fi on the campus. You can connect to the Fulbright Guest Network with our password. But however, uh, yeah, however, because there might not be enough power outlets in every room, so it's a good idea to bring your own multi-plug or extension cord so you can charge your devices easily. And about our communication channel, to stay updated during the bootcamp, please make sure that you have joined the official Yellow group and Facebook group. These will be the main communication channels where we will post dates and reminders. So if you haven't joined yet, please do so as soon as possible. And yeah, finally, if you have any question before or during the bootcamp, feel free to contact the organizing team. There are also study buddies assigned to help you throughout the week, so don't hesitate to reach out to them whenever you feel support. And so that's basically everything about the logistic notes. You can read more on the file that I have sent out. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Chung, for really insightful sharings about logistics note. I think that in Fulbright there's like enough like convenience for you guys to survive. I think so, and you guys can easily find convenience stores around in the school. So to be make sure that don't forget your laptop, and there can be some rainy days during the boot camp events, so it's really good to use bring your own umbrellas, use some your caps to make sure that you are not affected by the weather. So I think that's nearly all. And okay, and one thing is important. Make sure that you guys arrive on time on full ride. You don't want to miss any session, right? Don't like oversleep any day. Okay, so after sharing about a logistic note, I will come back and kindly invite Midland for the really first training with cameras. Okay, about okay. Midland, can you hear me clearly?
Yes, yes. Thanks, Hoàng. Can you hear me?
Sure, yeah, really clear.
Great. Is it okay if I share my screen? So it's easier. Let me see. All right, great. Alrighty.
So before we move to the next session by Ms. Lan, if anyone here have any question related to logistic note or about the program, please feel free to give us in the chat box so that we can come back and answer all of your questions afterward. Ms. Lan, please go ahead.
Sure. Thank you. Hey, this is great that I can meet all of you guys firstly online, and next week will be offline. And 10 years ago, I was actually participating in this type of bootcamp for the first time. And it was run by Silicon Valley experts that came to Vietnam. And we have a group of 12 innovation champions that joined this boot camp for the first week, and then we'll have the next 8 months together to learn about entrepreneurship. So this is like 10 years after, and I could, share a lot of my knowledge and also experience with you guys, and that's very exciting for me. All right, so this session is basically sort of like very, very first sharing about what is startup and how do you differentiate between startup and starting a business. So I guess let's jump in. Okay. Right. Let's see how I do this. So we're gonna talk a little bit about definition of startup, okay? And then we'll talk about what makes a good startup idea. And then I'll give you a bit about examples of student-led startups, both inside and outside of Fulbright. And then the team will go on and do a bit of team matching and assignment, and that will be the end of today. So I guess first I would like to jump into the very important question: what is a startup? Right? We're here to learn about the startup journey in a very short period of time. So we need to know what is the object that we are studying, right? So I guess this is sort of the very first start. I want you guys to write in your chat one name of a startup that you know. Okay. If you can do that very quickly, we have like 2 minutes to do it. That'd be great. Just one name. Okay. You probably hear it somewhere, see it from TV, maybe Shark Tank, maybe somewhere. I have 2 minutes. Please write it on the chat. Oh. Scrub Daddy. Interesting. I haven't heard of it yet. What do they do? Grab? Yeah, great. I haven't heard of Scrub Daddy yet. Maybe that's for Gen Z or Gen Alpha. Yeah, Busnet, Airbnb, Amazon. Right. That's very good. That's very good. Amazon, yeah, kind of. Not now, but before they were. OpenAI, yes, they are. Microsoft, there used to be a startup, now no longer. Momo, very good. This is all of our people. Bike, yeah, they are as well. Coco Sim, what do they do? I don't know. RCT, yes, that is. Autono, yep. Oh, you guys know a lot. That's great. And these are startups in different fields as well. You have fintech, and you have climate tech, right? Logistics, lots of things. That's great. So it seems you guys already know, right? All right. So then after those example, we just want to stop by a few of the names and let's see if you think they are a startup or not. Zalo, is that a startup? Zalo is a startup. Maybe we can do yes or no. I think it's a bit hard for me to see in terms of the screen. I can't see the chat now. This is a bit hard. So we have Zalo, and then okay, we have this is FIB, which is basically any type of Wanfa, nearby your school or your home. So in your answer, because I can't see the chat from this, Teams is a bit funny in terms of showing chats and screen at the same time. Can you type your answer with the name of the company that I'm showing here, and then next to it say yes or no, and I know what you're thinking of these places. So this is for SIG or any kind of Guanfa, right? Regular of nearby your house or your school. Is that a startup or not? Please type in the chat. Okay, I think this is better. All right. Someone is sharing, right? Someone is sharing, right? Sorry. So organizing team. Are you guys sharing for me? Because I can't do next.
Yes.
Okay, maybe now you can share for me. Okay. Next, please. Koi Garden Coffee. This is also any type of like normal coffee place nearby your school or whatever. I'm just asking if what you think of these startups or no, these companies. Are they a startup or not? I haven't asked about the real definition yet. Just checking if these are startup or not. Can someone sort of answer in the chat for me if Koi Garden Coffee or any coffee place nearby your house is a startup or not? No one? Next, please. And this company's name is Fulbright. I don't know if anyone have heard of it. What do you think of this? Is it a startup or not? Can I have a yes or no? Yeah. Phone say yes, it is a startup. That's great. Oh, you saw it on Shark Tank. That's great. Of course, it's Huang. Probably you watch Shark Tank more so. Great. Great. All right. Next slide, please. Okay, so I would like to have a few of these criteria to show you what is the difference between a startup that we are looking forward to form during this boot camp we would like to learn about, and what is the normal business. Right. Someone said before, like Quỳnh Anh, I see, said that a startup is a company that makes a product for the first time. This is a very, very good observation, and it's part of the criteria. So next, please. So I want to show a few criteria. I have here 3, and the first one I would like to really stress on is growth and scalability, right? So when you talk about like startups that you see on Shark Tank, or it's like Fulbright, or Finhai, or is it Grab or whatever that you showed above, these are companies that grow very, very fast. When you say growing fast, what does it mean, right? So in terms of companies that you have just mentioned, like Finhai or Grab or Momo and such, you're looking at some tens of times, right? So over like 5 years, right? So maybe the next 5 years they would go like 10 times or 20 times in terms of their revenue, in terms of their human resources, and also in terms of their funding. So they go fast, meaning in terms of definition in government policy, they say at least 20% of revenue per year, at least 20%. But that's very small numbers. When you talk about like investors, like on Shark Tank, who wants to invest in these startups, they are looking at like double every year, that sort of thing, right? Because there's a lot of risk in building a startup. So investors and startup founders need these startups to be growing very, very fast in order to have good return on money, right, on investment. And growth and scalability also goes hands in hand. Scalability means what? If you want to grow that fast, you need to have a business model that allow you to scale, right? So a lot of the startups that you have mentioned earlier on, the Momo or Finhai or whatever, they build upon mostly digital solutions, and these help them reach customers very, very fast, and they can scale their model fast. But it doesn't mean that physical businesses cannot scale fast. You also have companies that scale fast if they are physical. And I will mention some of the names a bit later. Okay? And the next criteria is this. Next, please. Being innovative, right? Innovative means what? When I saw you said earlier, like this is someone that built a product for the first time, right? So is it a new product or services, or a business model that not many people have done before, right? If you see people selling pho all the time, right? And you open another pho place, right? You're not very innovative. If it's just another pho place, right? And you sell just the same pho as the next pho place, the next street nearby, you're not very innovative. But if you try to find something, an angle, maybe the type of pho you sell, right? Or is that sort of the business model you sell? Something that not many people have done before. Maybe you're the first, or if you're not the first, you're one of the first businesses with that kinds of products, services, or business model. Okay. And the last one, and also I think is the most important, is customers. Can you have the next, please? Yes, target customers. So here, what it means is this. What it means is that you are trying to solve a target customer's pain point that hasn't been solved efficiently, effectively before, right? It could be a new type of customer, or it is an existing customer with needs that haven't been solved very well before, right? So FinHi, for example, right? Someone said FinHi before, or Momo, for example. They solve the problem of like individuals who want to do transaction or investment online very quickly, with small amounts, right? That is FinHi, for example, right? Before, you couldn't find a medium or platform that allow you to invest very small amount of money very quickly. You have to invest in something big. But FinHi said, you don't have to have a lot of money. You just need very, very small amount of money. You can be a student. You can be anyone. You don't have to have lots of money to invest. You just need an investment mindset, and here you go. That is a place for you to invest in, right? So you solve a target customer's pain point that is not solved effectively before, right? So these are the three criteria that make a startup different from a normal business. Okay, next, please. So we go back to the example above, right? Is Zalo a startup or not? Is Zalo a startup or not? Based on the three criteria, right? Is Zalo a startup or not? I would say it is. I would say it is, because it is growing very fast. It has a model to scale and grow fast. It is innovative. When Zalo was open, it was one of the very first, Vietnamese app that helped with communication, right? And it is targeting customers' pain points. Before Zalo, we were basically using a lot of messages that we have to pay for, right, over the phone. Sometimes we use Viber, and sometimes we use, other things, but that was not very convenient, right? Zalo helped Vietnamese people, communicate for free, and with the sort of the Vietnamese way of doing things, right? The icons are great. We love icons, and it's very easy to chat and talk to people over Zalo. Next, please. Right, so we have place like Koi Garden Coffee or any sort of coffee place, and compare it with, yes, please open the coffee house. So we can compare it with places like the coffee house. You can see that here you have place that seems to be quite cool, Koi Garden Cafe, when you have coffee, where you have like a bunch of like koi fishes around, but it's like one place, right? And you have a coffee house or Highland or Fela or whatever. These are places where they sell coffee and drinks in a way that it can scale very fast, right? So they can scale this model very fast, and a bunch of coffee places like this everywhere. And they sell new things, right? So in their menu, they try to create new drinks, and also the most important things in terms of coffee places is that the atmosphere, right? The way they set up the shop is also very different. Next, please. All right. I was telling about like for sake of what I have a kind of places near your house, right, or your school. You know, it just any type of pho, right? And it's only one or two places. But when you talk about like for FIB, right, you see people, the owners, the founders of FIB try to package it. You know, they package for FIB so that they can scale this model very fast. You see for FIB everywhere. So it might not be the pho itself that is new, right? This place is not selling an innovative product. Pho is the same. What they sell is an innovative business model, right? So they package the business model so that it can grow and scale very fast. And it targets people that want to eat pho in sort of a very same quality everywhere. Good and same quality, expected quality everywhere, right? So that's the difference between like a normal pho place and a startup in pho. Next, please. Right. And you see Coolmage and whatever, small clothing shops nearby, right? So Coolmage is able to package their products, their clothes, and also their model of actually supplying these clothes, do branding, and they have new materials and such, and deliver these clothes to a target customers who are young men, who want to have very comfortable and high quality clothes, but also not very expensive, right? So this is the difference. You can see from some of these examples how you can differentiate between a normal business and also a startup, right? Any questions? We can actually delve into this a lot and reflect a lot when we get to the offline meeting, okay? So next, please. All right, so I already show you, like some of the differences between a normal startup, a normal business, and a startup, right? So what really makes a good startup idea? Now we go into your startup idea, right? What will make a good startup idea? And here I have a very simple diagram, a Venn diagram of three things, right? The first thing I'd like to focus on is something that the founder or founders are interested in. You are gonna have to drive this startup for a long time, right? And it's actually very, very hard. We have one boot camp to test it out, but if you want to be a founder of places like Momo, Finhai, or Grab, or places like that, or a startup like that, it takes resilience. It takes a lot of effort. So and you take years, right? Even if these guys grow fast, it takes at least like 3 to 5 years, at least, if not, it's 10 years, 15 years. So you need to have something that you really like to work on, right? It's not like you have to work on this, but it's something that you love, right? It could be sport, it could be fashion, it could be community services, it could be food, it could be traveling, it could be whatever, but you guys need to love it. So when you work on it for at least a week and later on for months or years, you never feel tired of it. And it makes it easier for you to be innovative, right? To think of new things. It's easier for you to sell to people. It's much easier to do things that you love. Okay, so start with something that you love rather than something that you think other people will like, right? Because a lot of the time I see people say, let's work on climate change or whatever, because it's something that everyone talks about. That's something that would help you to talk to people better, put better into CV. But that's something very short term. If you want to do something for long, it has to be something that you really love doing. Okay, that's first. Second, next please, this is also very important, right? This is something that the founders have resources and capacity in. And what I mean by this is that you're gonna need a lot of resources when you work on your startups. The resources here include your expertise, your human capital. Is it something that you already have capacity in? Is it something that you have networks in? Is it you or your family or whoever, your friends have networks in? You have access to these people, to these potential customers or experts that can help you, right? For example, I tell lots of my students, and some of them are here, your buddies, right? When they want to work on something and they say, okay, I'm going to work on AI, right? I'm going to work on blockchain or whatever because it sounds cool. And I ask them, in your team, can anyone, work on AI? Does anyone have any skills on AI, right? Can you actually can code an app or whatever? And it's like, no, not really, but I think, it's easy because now there's ChatGPT and all kinds of things that can help you. Yeah, they can. But if you don't have any expertise in it, it would suck. It would really go nowhere. It would really stop at as an idea only, right? It's very hard to move on if you don't have any connection, any resources, and any expertise in this, right? And lastly, money, right? Money is very important. And the last point is pain point, but in terms of capacity and resources, money is very important as well, right? Money or capital, right? So, for example, some of the Fulbright students said, yeah, I want to open a coffee shop and I would love to decorate this and make it huge. And it's very comfortable for Fulbright students to go out and, drink great coffee there because like all the coffee places nearby suck, all of that. But the thing is, I asked them, do you have a place to actually create this coffee shop, right? So if your family owns a nice place that can, lend you for a period of time to create a coffee shop, that'd be great. But if you can't really find it, you said, okay, I have a great idea of a coffee shop. Now I'm gonna pitch to some investors, and I'm hoping someone will give me money to rent a place. Now that is a no-no. Okay, everyone said great ideas would get you somewhere money, and investment. That is very unrealistic. It's very, very hard to actually get money from investors like Shark Tank. How many people apply to Shark Tank, right? I actually graded the Shark Tank sort of elimination round before they actually got into that stage. How many thousands of people actually put the application in there. They all thought they had great ideas, but it's not that easy. Okay, so everyone has to start from your own resources first before you can get to any other professional sources of ideas. Okay, so I would love to help you become realistic and think of the resources and capacity that you have in your team. It could be within yourselves or with your parents or families that you have these connections. That's all good. Okay, so that's the second circle. And the last one, next please, is solving customers' pain points, right? Remember the last criteria I said, the target customer is an important part of what makes a good startup. So you need to find some sort of target customers first that you want to serve. And second, what are some of the pain points that they have that haven't been solved effectively, successfully before, with existing businesses? So these are the three things. And if you have these three things, guess what? You have a good idea. You can click next because I have a few animation here. All right. So this in the middle of the Venn diagram is what makes a good idea. And the one that I circle red, the customer pain points, is actually the most important thing. All right. If you get the real pain point that people haven't addressed before, this is like 50% of the win already. Okay. So think about this because later on we'll have assignment on this. All right. Next, please. Okay. So in terms of customers' pain points, right? It would be great if the pain point comes from you internally because you know best if that is the real pain point or not. You are students. Students have lots of pain points. You're studying too much, you don't have time to play, you don't know how to, win in whatever your grades. How do you go to university, very good universities? You have problems with maybe making new friends, right? Or whatever. Students have tons of problems. So you are high school students, right? Try to pick out the pain points that you have personally, and some of your friends have, or your sisters or brothers or neighbors in your same age have, so that you can relate to quickly. So these are some of the examples that founders actually created their startups based on their own pain points, right? So Airbnb, this is the founder of Airbnb is this guy who's broke and who loves to travel, and he can't have money to actually rent a hotel place, right? So he said, I would love a place where it's minimum. I just need a bed to lay there and a bit of help to the breakfast, and that's it. I would love a place like that for me to travel with minimum cost, right? So he created Airbnb, right? Facebook, you all have heard, right? Mark Zuckerberg, he first started Facebook because of what? He wants to make friends with beautiful girls, right? And also other, nerdy guys in Harvard. That was their need, right? There was pain point, and he created Facebook because of his own pain points, and that made it big. So I would love for you guys not just looking for any customer's pain point, but if it's your own pain point or some people like very close to you, your moms, your dads, your grandparents, your brothers, sisters, whoever very close to you, you can have access to them. If you know them very well and they have that pain point, pick it and try to solve it. Okay. Next, please. Okay, so this is some of the student-led startup example that I think are very great to inspire you later on to think of your own idea, right? And we can go through it next week. So the first one, I really like this story. This is a girl called Zoe Oli, I would think. I don't remember exactly her name, but she looks at this doll market, and at the young age she said, why is that all these dolls are white and have white features? And she's a Black woman. She would love to have dolls that really features Black girls, Black women like hers, right? So that's why she told her mom, I think it's not fair that all these girls are having white features. So she said, I would love to curl these dolls' hairs to be curly like mine. So she did some of those first dolls, and she sold them to her friends, and then it got really big. And later on, she actually made it a very good startup company and selling a bunch of dolls that have curly hairs and with Black girls' features, right? So this is this girl is solving her own pain point, but she also helps solve problems of many others, people like hers, right? Next, please. VHome is it's not quite really a startup now, but in the beginning, it was starting as a startup idea, and I personally helped the startup. So this is created by 3 high school students at the time. Actually, one girl, the first girl here, she was an 8th grader at the time, and the 2 boys were a 10th grader and 11th grader. So one was in Vietnam. I think 2 others were in the US at the time. And during COVID time, they noticed that lots of doctors in hospitals got infected with COVID, and they got very bad symptoms. So anytime when they go to see their patients, they have to put on this very close and heavy helmets, and they can only like take it on and put it off like once a day, and it's very inconvenient for them. So what they created is this. They said they study a little bit of literature. They said, every, I think, few minutes, a person needs to touch their face if you're comfortable, or like touch their heads. They feel itchy in their heads and they need to like scratch their head a little bit. So they would feel like doctors have the same need, and putting in these helmets, make it very uncomfortable for them. So they think of a helmet with a little hole above the head, so they can this hole is covered by like rubber, so they can like scratch their heads when they feel itchy. And it has also a gloves that goes into the face and the mouth, so they can actually like touch their face if they want to. And they actually have a little bit of the hole like in the helmet with chocolate or whatever, like I don't know, like food bar or whatever there, and so that they can take and eat when they want. So they even though they don't have to take the helmets off a lot, but they can still touch it and feel comfortable with it. So the idea went very well, and then Vin Group at the time actually bought this idea in and helped them to create about like I think a few thousands of these helmets and distribute it to different hospitals at the time. They also went to WIPO, so I think they won one of the WIPO international. WIPO is the world intellectual properties organization, and they actually went to the US to get this prize of sort of WIPO Young Talents. Right. The next one is a startup by Fulbright student. And you might have the opportunity to meet her later on. So she has this idea from her high school years, right? So she had a friend, a very close friend, who tried to commit suicide because he had mental health issues. And seeing that, she said, she was shocked, and his parents were shocked. Luckily, the boy was saved from his suicidal attempt. So later on, Yatan said, she would love to study something and do something with this and help people in young age to deal with mental issues. So from her study at Fulbright and with her psychology professors, what she did was creating a board game to help people with, a bit of mental issues, to explore the stories and tell these stories to their friends and family in a nice way, sort of like gamification of storytelling, right? And it helps, family members and young people to get to know each other and listen to each other's stories, right? And connect each other so that people with mental health issues can really, have some platform to release what they can't really say or tell, directly. So these are some of the startups ideas that actually have won lots of awards. Seesaw actually got on Shark Tank and she got invested from there. And it's great. She has a bunch of staff under her from the age of 18 and like 22. Super smart person, and really some inspiring story for us to learn from. Okay, so these are some of the examples I would love to inspire you guys. So next week, when we come back to this, you can think of something that you actually test it out with your own startup later on. All right, so I would give this session back to the organizers in terms of team matching.
Okay, so really thank you, Miss Lang, for really insightful sharings how to differ from like a startup and starting a business. How like Yellow different with your local for restaurants or something like that. And I think that the three circles of a good startup ideas may inspire students here a lot when doing their own like ideas. So let's begin to our next part of the session today about team matching. So in team matching, you will see your teammates and who is your study buddy. I believe that you all joined the group of yellow charts already. So yeah, so this is like attempt to see each other again, and then we will change for you to have like the really first chat with your study buddy in this session. So I will introduce the first team. This is the team one with the plastic problem. So basically, your team will be grouped by the topic that you own want to show. So we gather you guys at a group, and your topic right here is okay for you guys to change the topic. And if you do so, please talk to your study buddy and announce with us. So right now, here's the team one around Miss Nga, Huy, Nhân, Anh Dương, Tự Nhi, and Lưu Anh Tuấn. So this is team one. Team two, also have me and other 4 people. So team three, Phú Lâm is study buddy, and these are your teammates. Here team 4, Miss Phượng will be your study buddy. Okay, team 5 is in Miss Anh Thư right here. You can see her camera. Okay, so sorry, so after, sorry, I might come back a little bit. So after knowing your teammates, there will be breakout room for you guys to introduce with each other, and there is a small activities. As you can see, there are 4 colors. According to this, the green colors is product that you guys want to do something related to the product. The red related to sales or marketing. Yellow is about the finance and accounting, and blue right here related to operations. So please keep in mind that this is not fit, and one role can have many people to do that role, but your group need to have all of these 4 roles. Like imagine you are doing like a companies, and these are really basic roles in your companies to have it grow and like scale fastly. So here's your activities. When doing the breakout room, please design your team members for all of the roles, all of the colors that I share with you, and please choose a really specific problem related to your team topic that we want to dig deeper on. So okay, so Miss Chung, can you have me to break out room for students and their study buddy to do a really fun activities right now?
Can you wait for 1 second? Can you come back to the role each team need to assign so that students can fully aware of that?
Yeah, sure. Here, there are 4 roles that you have to design in your teammates. So we will break out into 5 rooms, and please remember your team and join the room according to the number of the team. Kiểu gặp nhau rồi thì mình có ngày bên nhau rồi, nó cũng không hẳn là ít ngắn mà cũng không hẳn là dài, thì mình có thể kiểu tối ưu thời gian đó bằng nhiều trải nghiệm hơn trong nhóm, cũng như là trao khuyên tất cả các bạn camper chẳng hạn, như kiểu đánh cầu lông chung hay là kiểu đi ăn chung ngoài giờ các thứ. Thì nếu mà làm được cái đó thì mình nghĩ nó sẽ ra những cái trải nghiệm mà mọi người sẽ nhớ mãi, mình nghĩ thế. Anh có thể mời một bạn camper có thể chia sẻ là các bạn đã nói gì hay là nhắn gì trong breakout room được không? Anh thấy nè, anh đã đọc chat này, anh thấy có chat của Minh Trí pop up lên này, anh có thể mời, có Phong Vui rồi ICT này được đấy. Thế là Phong có thể chia sẻ cảm nhận của Phong được không?
Thì trong breakout room của nhóm tụi em thì thứ nhất là điều quan trọng nhất là tụi em giới thiệu bản thân trước. Tụi em phải làm quen với các bạn bè, những người cũng như study buddy của chúng em. Và tụi em cũng đã chia sẻ một vài thứ là cũng có nhiều bạn có điểm mạnh ở một số điểm khác nhau, cũng như là hiểu thêm về cái role mà mình sắp tới mình sẽ làm. Và đó là điều thứ nhất. Điều thứ hai là tụi em cũng đã bàn một xíu về một cái target của tụi em với cái topic, mà đặc biệt hiện tụi em nhóm này là Pathway and Skills in Education. Tụi em nói thêm về education, cũng như là nói thêm về một cái khía cạnh là Pathway and Skills. Và đó là những gì chúng em đã nói trong 5 phút của chúng qua, 5 phút 15 phút vừa qua.
Được, cảm ơn Phong nhé, cảm ơn Phong về xưng Phong gọi là trao đổi cảm nghĩ. Em cũng mong là mấy bạn cũng đừng ở ngại, cũng có thể kiểu nói nhiều hơn như Phong chẳng hạn. Thì không biết là anh đang mời Trí, thì không biết là Trí có muốn kiểu chia sẻ cảm nghĩ hay là chia sẻ trải nghiệm của em trong các album được không? Hello Trí, are you here? Okay, anh nghĩ là Trí là hướng nội rồi. Ok, thì sau khi là chia nhóm thì chắc là đến phần gọi là bài tập về nhà đi ha. Thì chắc là chắc là Hoàng sẽ chia lại cho chị Lan để trao đổi với các bạn về bài tập về nhà.
So chị Lan is not here, so I will represent her to guide you in the next step with the assignment. So before we move to the next step and the assignment for each group, can I have some ideas or some sharing from the other two groups of mental health issue and plastic problem? Can you share us on the topic that you are going to explore in this bootcamp? So one representative from NAS group, plastic pollution, can you share? One, right? Group one, are you here? Ánh Dương.
Em nghe được.
Can you share with the whole class on the topic that your group is going to explore in this bootcamp?
My group explore about like the environment issues about a single-use plastic or something like recycle problem.
Okay, thank you. And the other group, the representative from the mental health issue group, the group of work, right? Can you nominate one of the students that can explain about the topic that you are going to explore in this bootcamp?
So I'm going to nominate, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm seeing David on my screen, so I nominate the Huang Kang David.
Okay. Wait. Can you say again what I'm about need to say?
Yeah. So what is the problem that your group is going to solve in this bootcamp? Are you guys discussing on that during the breakout session?
Briefly.
Yeah, a bit, but
yeah. So can you share briefly on the topic or the problem that you are? So any other team member can support David on this?
yeah.
If are you raising your hand? Please open your mic.
So to be honest, we have just beating around the topic of education. We are not selling on one topics yet because we have makeup of various ideas already, but to choose specific topics so that we can really explore on these. I think that 10 minutes is not enough for us, for ourselves, but a few ideas have been raised and we are working on that part.
Okay. Thank you for your sharing. So that's the reason why we set the assignment for all of the groups here before the camp happens, so that you can all prepare for that and do some research and ready for the camp. So the requirement in the assignment is that. So you have already learned about what's the good idea for a startup. You can revisit this slide and think about the Venn diagram, the three things that your team having right now, to see what is the good idea that you can tap on to solve in this bootcamp. The second assignment is that your group needs to conduct a primary market research, either online through the DEX research, searching on Google, or ask people around you to identify the specific problem that you are going to solve in the bootcamp. And the third assignment is that you need to identify at least 5 potential target customers whom you can approach for interviews or implement the experiment on them to get feedback and to get the comments from your customer during the bootcamp. So for each customer, you need to include the following details of their name, the contact information, either it's online social media, the phone number, or the email. And you need to describe the relationship between you and them, or how you can assess them. So basically, this is the assignment. And to present your work, you can use the worksheet template that we are preparing here for you. So what you need to do is that when you click on this link, you can duplicate it into other document, and then you input all of your work, your results, your research, and the contact information here, so that as the organization team and as a trainer of the camp, we can visit all of this document and know the progress of your group to like add more value on the coaching session for you during the bootcamp time. And the submission deadline here is that you need to finish your assignment as a group by 3 p.m. this Friday on July 4th, 2025. And then you submit all of the document to the team folder here, or you can send it directly to your study buddy through via Zalo group. And we will, like collect all of the works that you have done to see if you are ready for the camp. Do you have any question on this assignment and what to do next? Okay, so if you don't have any questions on that, we will send you the slide today so that you can revisit all of the training information and also the assignment, and make sure to complete your work by the deadline, so that we can all know your progress and help you better in bootcamp. Yeah, so I think this is the end of the session today. I hope that you have already had the basic information about startup and starting a business, the logistic note that you need to prepare for the bootcamp, and be very, very ready to meet each other in person starting from July 7th, next Monday. We are very excited to welcome all of you at the Fulbright campus. Hoàng ơi, do you have any last word that you want to give to the campers before we end the session?
Yeah. Okay, so thank you for the assignments and also some of you your sharing. So just right now on where in this onboarding session, so I have just read like a boss in the Facebook group. So so here's like, so I think that here is one of the things that you guys need to do, like to get a short team meeting right after this onboarding session and come up with some team name and a team leader. So right, so right now on the so right now after this onboarding session, so try to reach out to your teammates to set up a team meeting to finalize the assignment, and remember to submit it by the deadline. So see you soon. So that's my last